The purpose of this video is to illustrate the timeline of events that led to my elderly mother being billed by Oncor for a service that I was told she would not get a bill for. First off, Oncor, the electric service provider for her area, has exceedingly bad reviews from customers. Their Google reviews average 1.5 stars out of 5 and generally refer to a record of very poor customer service, which is what necessitates the production of this video. Around 7 p.m. on the evening of Saturday, the 10th of June, 2023, a tumultuous weather system was developing around Waco, Texas, which is where my mother's home is located. I was just about to drive out to pick up groceries for her, since she no longer drives and does not own a motor vehicle. Just as I was walking out of the house, the power failed. I noticed a faint odor of an electrical fire, which seemed unusual to me. I figured that the entire block had lost power, but it hadn't. It was just this house. Stepping outside, I noticed that all 3 of my mother's trash bins were lying on their backs, which is not how she keeps them. They'd been upright just minutes prior, suggesting that a strong gust from the east had pushed them over, which is supported by weather data from that day. Walking around to the west side of her house, I was met with the sight of a fallen tree limb from the neighbor's yard, and the power line to my mother's house was entangled with the limb. The entire weatherhead was lying on the ground. Now I knew why the rest of the block hadn't suffered a power loss. The failure was localized to my mother's house. The same gust that had knocked over the large trash bins had aggravated a poorly manicured ash tree that the neighbor at 2821 Summer refused to trim away from the power line, causing it to drop a large limb. Now, a live wire was lying on the ground a couple feet from a metal chain link fence. I had no choice but to call for an emergency disconnect as a result of the fallen limb and its aftermath. An Oncor representative explained to my mother that there would be no charge for such an emergency disconnect from the pole. Once the danger was mitigated, we then had to work out a way to keep air conditioning running for my mother, whose ill health would be further jeopardized by the loss of power. A borrowed generator would meet the demand, but we still needed repairs to the house to allow for a reconnection. An emergency city inspection would also be needed before this could happen. The old house had to be brought up to current code, which presented additional cost in terms of parts, labor, and precious time. Oncor's reps were not in the least bit interested in helping with matters, telling me, acting as agent for my mother in this matter, that it could take up to 3 more days, making a total of 5 days before the power could be restored to the home. This, while Central Texas summertime heat and humidity were already in full swing. Here's an excerpt of an audio recording of me speaking with an Oncor rep to get them to expedite the matter.
All right, I do have to advise you there will be a $110 order for this.
No, there will not. You will waive that because there was a storm. Do not, I repeat, do not charge the reconnect fee.
Okay, let me just double check if it was a storm.
Were you here? I was here. There was a storm. A gust of wind knocked all our trash cans down and the branch off the tree. Would you like a picture of the branch on the ground with the wire under it?
No, that's perfectly fine, sir. But what I'm seeing here is that our personnel said that it was just it wasn't a storm.
What was it then?
Well, let me see here.
It was caused by a gust of wind. We are currently under a tornado watch, and I believe we were under a severe thunderstorm watch at the time of the incident that disconnected the power.
Okay, yes, I did just double check. It was storm related. My apologies.
Oh, so you are going to waive that reconnect fee, correct?
Yes, sir.
Note how the rep tells me that there will be a $110 reconnect fee since it was a non-emergency or non-weather related. I had to insist that it was weather related and that they needed to waive the fee, which is in line with their own policy. After spending more time on hold while the rep checked his facts, he admitted that he had made a mistake and that the fee would be waived.
It was storm-related. My apologies.
Oh, so you are going to waive that reconnect fee, correct?
Yes, sir.
When the utility bill arrived, it had the $110 fee on it. The Reliant Energy rep explained matters in a slightly different way, saying that there would normally be 2 such fees, one for disconnection and the other for reconnection, but that one was an emergency and the other was not. The recording from the Oncor rep clearly shows that he agreed that the fee could and would be waived. This video will sit here on YouTube and on other platforms to show all concerned how the bureaucracy is failing the elderly customers who are regarded as nothing more than cash cows for these utility companies. If you have time and breath to spare, please use them to lobby for better lines of communication between all divisions in these companies so that the ball doesn't get dropped as often as it has been. I feel that I have demonstrated that there should be no fees charged to the Oncor customer, my 90-year-old mother in this instance. If you agree, please comment, give the video a thumbs up, and let the utility companies know that they need to put the customer first. Had the stresses of the weekend caused my mother to expire from living without electricity and trying to get it reconnected, they would have lost a customer permanently, as I would have taken the house off the grid.